I have to explain, honey. And, you know, some of it may be post-traumatic stress from my military and all that, because it brings back. So that's what, I guess with edibles, I'd have to say, you know, I'd have to eat them right away in the morning. And hopefully, I'll ask you, Doc, how long before they clear your system to where you won't get nightmare?
I would probably say, yeah. I think if you strategize taking them in the morning, most of the effects should be worn off by the time you go to sleep.
Yeah, but see, my problem was I'm eating them about 5 o'clock.
Yep.
And
So
then I'm going to bed, and that's why I've backed off on edibles a little bit. I've tried vaping, and I've heard pros and cons. I've heard it's worse for you because of the oils they put in it. And then I've heard, is that true?
yeah, if they are cut with like vitamin E acetate was a big problem for a second, and oftentimes they are
Doc,
cut with
let's ask
vegetable
you,
glycerin.
what do we need to make vaping safe? There's a question I'll
There we
fire
go.
at you.
I would just say a pure quality concentrate. So like live resin is probably a pretty safe bet. The problem in our industry is that
So you need to ask for live resin.
live resin is
Because I've
usually a
gotten
safe
that in
way.
Colorado before.
Yeah.
I'll go in and specifically.
But the problem that I've had is I've been to Vegas, and you'll ask for a live resin cart. You're paying $100 for this cart, and it's just a distillate cart with added terpenes or flavoring, and they're just calling it live resin. So it's not like where you're like, what is that, Chardonnay or Champagne, where it's supposed to be from Champagne. So there's no like legal ramifications. So people in our industry will just call things that they actually
They
aren't.
mislabel them.
They'll mislabel them. But usually, if you can find a quality brand, live resin is probably the best quality source for a cart because it's water extracted and.
Let me ask this question, Doc, which would be one that which way is the healthiest? Eating?
I'd assume eating it, yeah, because then you're not because like any way you're consuming combusted things in your lungs is unhealthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So eating edibles would probably be the safest.
The safest way. Yeah.
There's tinctures also.
Let me ask this: how would you all rate between vaping and regular smoking of it? Which one's worse?
It depends, I guess, if you're smoking a blunt, which also then has nicotine and tobacco. That's probably the worst. And then
I don't ever
if
would
you're-
do that. I wouldn't. I don't want nothing to do with nicotine and nothing to do with tobacco.
yeah, but I'd say probably like a very quality vape pen is probably the safest, where you're not pulling in other oils into your lungs, and a cart that doesn't have heavy metals, because that's also a big problem in the cart industry. Is sometimes they'll vaporize off these heavy metals. So I don't. It's not a very clear answer.
Or a good
I think,
hash.
yet.
What about doing dabs in a very clean ring?
Yeah, dabs, I'd say
Yeah.
dabs doing hash, smoking hash. would
Smoking
be
hash is pretty safe.
pretty safe.
Really?
It's your purest form. So you're going water, heat, and then you have your product. So
Really?
you're not using chemicals, you're not.
You know what? And let me ask this: does it deteriorate in time?